Hello and welcome back to Rantline. And friends, it's been a busy year for Canadian journalism. There were buyouts and layoffs, lawsuits and scandals, and what feels like a record number of exclusives. With our fingers crossed that nothing earth-shattering happens between now and the end of the year, we bring you our top 5 journalism stories of 2013. Journalism kept the courts busy this year. In late 2012, John Furlong of the Vancouver Organizing Committee sued the Georgia Straight and its reporter Laura Robinson for defamation after the newspaper claimed that he physically abused students when he taught phys ed in the late 1960s. Furlong has since dropped the action against the newspaper, but not the reporter, who recently wrote to him demanding that he apologize for tarnishing her reputation. Furlong's action hasn't yet made it to trial. Then in September, York University sued Toronto Life for libel after the magazine published an article about sexual assaults on the university's campus. York claims that the article misrepresented the issue and unfairly singled out the university as being a hotspot for sexual crime. 2013 was also the year that Canadian newspapers hit the wall, the paywall, and they hit it hard. The Halifax Chronicle-Herald, Toronto Star, Calgary Herald, and Edmonton Journal joined the Globe and Mail, National Post, and the Sun chain by finally capping the number of articles that readers can view for free. It's too early to tell how successful paywalls will be at staving off losses, but the Globe and Mail, for its part, reported earlier this year that 100,000 people had signed up for its Globe Unlimited service, about 30,000 of whom were not already print subscribers. And not every newspaper is trying the paywall route. La Presse earlier this year announced that it is going to become a tablet-first newspaper, not charging for content. Local news took a few hits this year as well. Newspapers shut down in Lindsay and Midland, Ontario, Bellechasse and Saint-Lambert, Quebec, Beausejour and Lac-du-Bonnet, Manitoba, Meadow Lake, Saskatchewan, and Abbotsford, British Columbia, while Torstar shut down local business news websites in Hamilton and Mississauga. The CRTC continued to wind down its local programming improvement fund, and Sun Media stopped publishing free dailies in Ottawa, Calgary, and Edmonton. More than a few journalists either jumped or were pushed out of newsrooms this year. As of this video, the count includes 64 buyouts at the Globe and Mail, 94 layoffs at Rogers, 75 to 100 layoffs at the Toronto Star, 200 at Sun Media, but Paul Godfrey still has a job. But it's not all doom and gloom. The award-winning British Columbia magazine The Tyee raised more than $100,000 to take their independent journalism national. CBC launched a new radio station in Kitchener-Waterloo, and there's been some pretty excellent journalism going on. Which brings us to the top journalism story of the year, Rob Ford versus the world. Since the Toronto Star first reported in March that the mayor had been asked to leave an event because people thought he was intoxicated, the Ford story has been a cascade of unbelievable stories and ethical issues that journalists, and the Review, love to talk about. First there was anonymous sources, then paying drug dealers for a video, then raising money to pay drug dealers for a video, then paying not drug dealers for a different video, then covering the mayor's wife and repeating the mayor's lies. But for all the bluster coming out of City Hall, we're going to have to give 2013 to journalism. Any doubts about the truth of the reporting by Toronto's dailies vanished when Police Chief Bill Blair announced that the video was safely in police hands. More has trickled out since then, and while we're nervous about making predictions about the year to come, we would bet good money that there's more to this story. So thanks for reading the review, and we'll see you again in 2014. We'll have a big issue coming out in March, regular features and blog posts online until then, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter.